a life-size bronze statue of the late Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu has been unveiled in Cape Town this week. It's the latest addition to the 100 other statues of struggle stalwarts at the Long March to Freedom exhibition, including that of Nelson Mandela, Winnie Madikizela Mandela, Oliver Tambo, and Beyers Naudé. Now, artists Cristina Salvoldi and Tania join us this morning to talk about their masterpiece and what it took to pull off this incredible project. To both of our guests, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Cristina, shall we kick off our discussion with you? What a big job to try to immortalize someone like the Arch in this way.
Absolutely. So the Arch has been an incredible role model for everybody the world over, and not a small little commission to try and pull off. There was a lot of pressure, but also a lot of excitement. I think both Tania and I felt very honored and very excited to embark on this and to try and capture him in one pose.
Yeah. Tania, we've seen statues in the past where the likeness does not really live up to, what we'd expect to see in a person. There have been some statues of Madiba, for example, where his face just didn't translate in the statue. And I think the Long March to Freedom does such a good job of capturing Madiba as well, as you've done with the Arch. How difficult is that to capture that likeness in bronze?
Well, I think the hardest part is there's the technical aspect of, we all have our eyes, nose, mouth, we're all made up with these features, but it's the subtleties that make someone really recognizable in who they are and individualistic. And with the Arch, it was incredibly important because he's so well known. Obviously, his family is still living. And also to just do him justice. So it's always hard. But I think Cristina and I have a fantastic way of working. We really feed off each other's energies and creativity, and it does help being two people. When one gets stuck, the other one can take over. But so it's a combination of just a lot of reference material, a lot of help from the project as well, from Sarah and Dali, and just making sure that you push and push until that moment when he's there.
Yeah. Lovely blast of color there at the Long March to Freedom exhibition. Cristina, in terms of how this process works, do you have sort of a first draft, a second draft? What does it take to get to the unveiling day?
Okay, so once we get the commission, we start with a 40 centimeter maquette, a small version, where all of the details get hashed out. How is he going to look? What is he going to wear? What accessories is he going to wear? What age are we trying to depict him at? How is he going to walk? What is his gesture going to be? There's a lot that needs during that stage where we're basically locking down the overall image and what are we wanting to say. That goes back and forth for a while until we have locked him down. And then once everybody's approved, we then go on to sizing him up to the final size that we want in a foam, and then Tania and I come back in and work in clay over that foam to make sure that all of the details are right. I mean, we go into everything. Now, because 40 centimeters is very small compared to a life size, that's when the detail comes into the hands. We really look at the face. We really look at the posture and the folds of the cloth and everything. Once we're done with that and once approval has been given, the sculpture then goes to a foundry. In this case, it was the Loop Foundry in White River. And they then take it through the bronzing process, which takes usually about 4 to 5 months, but we had quite a deadline on our hands, so they did this in record time in about a month.
Yeah. And Tania, I imagine that the family has quite a bit of involvement in the process that Christina's just outlined.
Actually, we spent a lot, we were in discussion a lot with the Tutu and Leah Foundation, the museum in Cape Town. We visited there. They've got a lot of images, videos. So, yeah, Janet Jobson there helped us a lot. The family were less involved during the process. So this time, no, it was mainly the museum. And then, of course, speaking with Dolly Tambo, who also knows the family, and Sarah Haynes, who's the heritage expert on the project. So they're also really good as outside eyes, just to come in and say, look, guys, this is not working, that's not working. So we have a lot of support throughout the process.
Yeah. And is this your first contribution to the Long March to Freedom?
Sorry, no, I worked on the Sizulus, Walter and Albertina Sizulu, as well as Adelaide Tambo.
Oh, wow.
And then Cristina and I, along with fellow colleague Lundisa Kala, we worked on the Winnie Mandela, as well as Martin Luther King. I forget, there were a couple of others, yes.
That's
I think
amazing.
Christina's also.
So, as with all great work, the question becomes, Cristina, what's next for the two of you? Yes. And do you always work together, or are you sort of together on some projects and separate on others?
So let me answer the last question first. We've worked on quite a few projects. We've actually done a couple of monumental ones. We've done the 9-meter OR Tambo that's standing at the OR Tambo airport. So mostly we work together on projects that come from Dali and the NHPC. We've kind of been coined as the team now because we just love working together. So, but obviously we're artists in our own right. So, Tania, does her own thing and so do I.
Yeah.
So.
It's quite a big deal.
So just to reply to the first question. What comes next, we don't know. We're just going to carry on doing our own private things, and hopefully funding gets made available to work on more of these sculptures for NHPC. This project is a fantastic project to be involved in. We're very honored. We're very excited about it.
Yeah. Just your parting shot, Tania. It is such a big deal, isn't it, to be involved in a project like this? It's not just something that locals come and have a look at, but international tourists, no doubt, will come and have a stroll through the Long March to Freedom. And as Cristina says, a big honor to be involved in it.
It's unbelievable honor, and I can't say how much I've grown personally, because with every sculpture that we make, there's so much research that goes into it. You really need to get a feeling for the person, and the only way you can do that is to read as much, watch as much, gather as much information. And through this process, I've been introduced to a history that I certainly never knew about, and to the incredible figures that make up this history of South Africa, the liberation struggle history. And so for me personally, it's really is actually quite life-changing, and an honor, of course. And I do think that the exhibition is incredibly powerful in the sense that it's at eye level. People can come, they can interact with the sculptures, they can have their selfie taken, and it just brings these people really into such an up close and personal level. I think it's invaluable completely.
Yeah. And I think that's probably a great reason for anyone who's watching who hasn't been to the Long March to Freedom to go and visit the site. Let me thank both of you for your time, Tania Lee and Cristina Salvoldi, the artists involved in that life-size bronze statue of the late Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu being unveiled in Century City just this week. To both of you, thanks very much indeed.